name is Frances. I'm one of the tutors for Age UK Generation Games in Oxfordshire. We're going to do another Tai Chi today. I gather the first two have been really popular, so we're trying to put another one together for you. But I thought, seeing as you've been enjoying it, we'd try and put a little bit in at the beginning just to let you know what to think about a bit more while you're doing it, in terms of your posture and in terms of how you're moving. So if you remember in the first ones, if you've watched them, we've asked you to rock quite a lot, okay? And what we need you to do is think that your knee points in the same direction as your toe each time. If you find your toe goes in one direction, your knee goes in the other, just adjust your position so it's comfortable, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're going side to side or whether you're going 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back. The knee should still point the same direction as your toes. Okay. Then the other thing is your posture. In the Western world, we're told to stand up tall and straight and stiff, and you tend to end up like this, with your chin sticking out. And particularly if you've gone a little bit rounded in your back, you end up like this. So in Tai Chi, we have what they call the pearls from heaven. So imagine that your spine is a string of pearls and it's hung up there from heaven, and then it just drops gently down. You'll find your shoulders should drop, and you should find your back softens slightly and your tailbone sinks towards the floor ever so slightly, your hips and knees a little bit soft. Okay. 2 exercises that we're going to do, they've got names of dragons in them. One is the yellow dragon. I'm going to use a £2 coin just to demonstrate. They want you to make a dragon's claw so you can hold a £2 coin in. Okay. And you're going to reach forwards and back with it. So that's that one. And then the other one with the dragons is trying to make your hands into little dragons. You bring your middle 2 fingers down to your thumb, and your your end 2 fingers stay up to make the ears, and then you've got little dragon's heads. If you can do it, fabulous. If you can't, just put your hands in a comfortable position. This is just the cherry on the icing on the cake, if you like. Okay. So on that note, I think I've covered all the things for you to think about. Don't worry if you can't, do what you can. The main thing is to enjoy it. So now we'll start this sequence of Shibashi. I've done one substitution on the traditional version because there's one move in there that's quite difficult to catch on film. It's much easier to talk face to face, so I've done a substitution. But other than that, this is the second 18 Shibashi. So, feet slightly apart. Pearls from heaven, lengthen up tall, and then let the pearls hang down. Soften the spine, soften the hips, soften the knees. Parting the clouds, preparation. Breathe in and out. In and moving on to circulating the chi, hands together, forwards and back. Really nice circle. Now, if you have your knees stiff, you'll just move your arms. If you soften your knees, you should find that as your arms go forward, you suddenly find your tummy muscles are working. Your balance muscles are working more. So don't force things. Do what you can. Start off gently, build on it if you can. If you can't, stay with what you can do. On to the next one. 1 foot forwards. Winddrops the willows. So imagine the willow strands up and down. Down. It's a lovely way to loosen your shoulders and to get your waist working. And change legs and go to the other side, high and low. Just think of the willows at the edge of the river, nice strong breeze, drifting the tendrils one way and then the other. And keep that. Then to put 1 foot forwards and make your fingers, this is called needles at sea bottom. You know how children used to go cowboys and Indians? That pattern for the needles. They go down either side of your leg and then you loop back round and up. So it's the needles diving for the sea bottom and coming round. Don't worry if all you can do at first is go partway down your thigh and round. You'll probably find after you've done a few, you're going lower. But you can feel how your legs are both working. And your back is bending, as well as the movements of your arms and shoulders. And in my classes, I sometimes call this taking your stocking off. So if that works for you, slide your stocking down your leg and off. Okay, and then the next one. Fisherman casts his net. Now, if you're a fisherman in a boat, you'd keep your centre of gravity low. Now, I'm going to go further than you need to, but see if you can go into a bit of a squat. So legs go wider, knees point out over your toes. Got a net in your hands, cast it out and bring it back. Go the other way. Cast it out and bring it back. And back to centre. Okay, so the next one is variously translated as fairy or elf or pixie, but fairy salutes. So we start with a bit of a curtsy. So foot behind, bend the knee. And the other way, foot behind and bend the knee. And then to that, we add the salute. So again, if you're a bit wobbly, you may want a chair just to put your hands on for a bit of stability. But work on the curtsy element. Really good for your hips and your knees, strengthens your muscles. Really good for your balance. And you can add the hands if you're able to. And if you're not, don't worry, you're still working the legs. Next one, little boy stretches his legs. Now this is a balanced one, so again, if you need a chair to hold on to, do. So I've got an imaginary chair there. Other than that, it's hands on hips. Lift one leg up and kick away. If you can, you do 4 or 5 on one leg. And then you swap over and do the other side. So you can hold onto the chair or you can have your hands on your hips. Okay, 5 each side is usually enough of that one. Okay, we're going back to the curtsy one. I told you this one was tougher than the earlier ones we recorded. But this time you've got more to do with your arms. So get the curtsy going again. Now this time, as your foot goes behind, your arms do a big circle up and round. And your hands end up pointing the same direction as your foot. Then come back the other way, round the bottom, over the top, and round. Round. And then if you can, look to where your hands end up. Remember the one that we did with the coin, the dragon? And then you're going to have your feet slightly further apart and then really push forwards with your hands, let your knees bend a little bit. And down. Push forwards again. The more you push, the more you'll feel your tummy muscles tighten. Keep the feeling of the coin in your hand, like pushing forwards of the talons of the dragon's claws. And this one goes straight into, the full translation is draw bow to shoot the bird. So imagine bows and arrows, you put both hands together, and pull one hand back, push the other one forwards as if you're holding the bow. Push the back elbow back as far as you can. And bring the back arm round, go the other way. Pull that bow, bring the arm round. Pull the bow, bring the arm round. Just imagine the tension in the bow, the amount of pull you're having to do. I have a son that does archery. I can't even begin to stretch his bow. Mind you, he's a lot taller and a lot stronger than I am. Pull that bow back. Remember the other dragon pattern we did, the 2 fingers down to meet the thumb, the 2 outside fingers there. So these are 2 little dragons, and if you had your left foot forward before, it's your right foot, and if it's right foot then it's left. If you can't remember, we'll sort it out, and the next time you'll know, won't you? Okay, so there's your dragons. 2 dragons swim out to sea, so let them jump into the waves, and then get them washed back up the beach, and then do it again. Jump. And in. Watch the knee alignment over the foot. You're aware that hopefully you're going lower now than you were before. As your back becomes more bendy, as your hips become more bendy. Remember I said the first one, I sometimes call it taking the stocking off. So surprise, surprise, this one is putting the stocking on. Now pushing waves, or pushing the waves. Take your right hand, push across to the left, slightly down. And come back. And then left hand go the other way. Push through and put it back. Feel how the whole of your body twists. Your weight changes from one foot to the other. Into the closing third, we're moving on. So the next one is the one I've substituted. There's one called Line Playing with the Ball, and that's a bit difficult to show on camera. So what I've put instead is mirrors, or hand mirrors. So you bring one hand up as though it was a hand mirror, and you look at it as you turn round in that direction. And then you bring the other hand up inside and follow it round the other way. Bring your hand up inside, look at yourself in the mirror, and so on. Now, just occasionally, some people find that this makes them go dizzy. So if it does, please don't feel you have to do it. You can do a few more of the playing with waves, or any of the other moves that you're happy with. This is a good one for challenging the balance systems. So you've got your head moving, but your focus is on your hand, which is effectively still in front of you because it's moving with your head. Right, I'm going to stretch up tall. This is called Embrace the Moon in a Cup. So think of it as if you're picking up a giant egg from up above. Reach up to the egg, and then you squat down and put it in a cup. Do it again. Reach up and bring it down and put it in the cup. Now you can decide how tall this cup is. It might be at table height. It might be at the height of a chair seat. You may find after you've done a few of these, you can have it even lower. Again, listen to your body. Take what it'll give you. You can ask it for a little bit more, but never try and force it. So let's get the legs moving in a different way. Phoenix unfurls its wings. One leg forwards, flap your wings, and back. Go the other way. So about the only time I ever feel even vaguely graceful is doing Tai Chi, so hopefully you will as well. Now, for those of you that are getting a little bit wound up, maybe a bit aggressive, I love this one. It's called striking the opponent's ears. You step forwards with your hands in fists and you box their ears. It's an old-fashioned expression, isn't it? Boxing somebody's ears. Bang, and down. So, if you're really feeling you need to, you can imagine that to be someone who you really don't like. Or you can just imagine that it's a carrier bag that you filled with foam and hung up, and you can punch into it just to release a little bit of tension. Great one for toning the arms. Nearly there. Last one. Penultimate move. 1, 2. So imagine there's a dome there. It can be covered in velvets. It can be shiny metal. It can be polished wood. It could be a lump of dough that you just gently knead. Now, in modern parlance, we talk about having your core muscles. In Tai Chi and other traditions, your centre, your core, is your dantian. And this is bringing energy to your dantian. Try going in the other way. So if you imagine energy in the air, and by running your hands round like this, you're accumulating it and allowing it to be absorbed into your centre. Time to close. Big breath in. And out. And again. Happy to stand. Shoulders relaxed. Palms dropping from heaven. Be aware of your centre. Be aware of your strength. Be aware of the calm in your mind.